Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Current Affairs Unfiltered. I'm your host, Paige Fullen. This week, we are going hyper-local to me because there is a local group called the Pink Poster Club that has kind of taken over the area that I'm from. And the ladies that started it are just two of the most kind and amazing people that I've ever met in my entire life. And I think Pink Poster Club and what they're doing is something that so easily can be replicated across the country and essentially bring joy, make advocacy, approachable and fun, and make the world a better place. I first heard about Pink Poster Club through one of the candidates that I was working with and thought it was so awesome and fun. So I followed the Pink Poster Club. I followed the creators of Pink Poster Club and immediately was sucked into what they were doing. And, Illinois had its primaries not too long ago, and Pink Poster Club was able to host a candidate forum, which was super fun and exciting, and quite honestly was the most fun forum of the entire election season, which I guess shouldn't be that shocking. But like I said, this is something that very much should and could be replicated everywhere. And I think it's great to hear from two women that saw the need for some sort of community building and just a place where something was missing, and then standing up and filling the space themselves. Before we get to today's episode, though, a little bit about the women behind Pink Poster Club. Savanna Essig-Fox has a master's degree in health policy and analysis from New York University with expertise and focus in HIV prevention and analysis. She currently divides her time between her three main roles: advocate, mother, and professional. Savanna is the co-founder of Pink Poster Club, a local grassroots advocacy group based in Evanston. She's the mother of two young kids and works part-time as the development manager of a local news nonprofit. Emily Miller has a master's degree in agriculture, food, and environment policy from Tufts University with a professional background and expertise in network building within the food system. Now, she spends her time caring for her three young children, community organizing, and online advocating through her social media platform at Emily Thinks Aloud. Emily is the other co-founder of Pink Poster Club, a local grassroots advocacy group based in Evanston. Without further ado, here is my episode with Emily Miller and Savanna Essig-Fox of Pink Poster Club. Savanna and Emily, thank you so much for coming on. It is so great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So let's start with who you are and what Pink Poster Club is. For people that are learning about Pink Poster Club for the first time, how do you usually explain what it is and why you started it?
Emily, do you want to do it? Because you just had that beautiful intro at our event.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can
beautiful.
as well.
No, I can go. Pink Poster Club is a community organizing group that Savanna and I started after Trump was elected the second time. We met at a local bar, and we really wanted to do something to show our opposition and essentially refusal of a second Trump administration. And we also wanted to do something creative, tangible, offline, and something that we could gather other people to do with us and bring along with us as we figured out the group. And it has evolved since then, but largely community organizing around opposition to Trump and creating a world we want our children to live in.
Love it. And I'm in your area, so I've been seeing all the stuff that's going on that you guys have been doing, and it's really inspiring. And I think we talked about this in the intro call, but the ease in which you make it appear that it's easy to build community. And you guys make it look so simple and fun and creative. And that's what I love about the Pink Poster Club.
Thank you. We love that. I mean, I do think I don't know if this is a question, but I do think in some ways it is easy. We had going into this, just for some context for people who might be thinking about doing something like this. Emily and I already were connected in the community. We had book clubs. We're in two of the same book clubs, well, now three. But we already had kind of a community that we had cultivated before anything political really happened. So I think there was an ease in our introduction of Pink Poster Club because we already had this kind of built-in community, there is an ease to it, I think. I also think we're both people who are like social in our communities, so it makes it a little bit easier as well. And because we're good friends, we already started off with that friendship, and it was comfortable. It was easy to say, what are our ideas? What do we like? What do we not like? So I think some of that ease you see is there, but also because we really wanted it to be fun. And we didn't have, to be clear, this was not well thought out. We weren't like, we're going to meet and start a grassroots organization. We were like pissed off and upset, and we wanted to do something, and we didn't know it was going to be this, to be honest. I think that's kind of important to say. Like, we didn't know we're going to start Pink Poster Club and it's going to become like a community grassroots organization. We wanted to do something together, and we did that. And then it kind of slowly evolved, or I mean, kind of quickly, honestly. It's only been a year, but it did evolve. It wasn't like, let's do this thing and with a lot of thought. I mean, we have thought and we care about it, but it's pretty organic.
And from what I've seen, like it started as the pink posters right after the inauguration, and now it's just evolved into something so big. Like, you guys hosted a candidate forum a couple weeks ago. Like, that's incredible growth for a year's time. It's crazy.
Agreed.
Yeah, it is. It has been crazy. It's been wild. I think, like Savanna said, it speaks to the community we already had. And also, so many people have been looking for an outlet to do something and have jumped right in. Like, I cannot tell you how many people contact us constantly being like, what can I do? Give me something to do. I'll do it. Here's what I'm good at. I can help you. And it's really, I think we've done what we can to listen to people and their skills and let them join the group how they best can join it. And I think that has been one of the contributions to us growing quickly, is making space for people however they want to join.
So this, as you mentioned, this all started after a conversation at a bar in Evanston after the inauguration. In that moment, what were you feeling? I imagine it was bad feelings. But how did you turn that into actual action instead of just being two girls at a bar venting to each other?
I mean, I think Emily kind of, during the election, Emily had started a letter writing group. I think it was actually, you started it like before, like in the midterms or something. That's when we first met. When Emily and I first met in like 2022, I think, she invited me to a letter writing thing that she hosted. That's kind of how our friendship started. But then during the election, for the general election, we were doing the same thing. So she had started these letter writing groups. We were all a part of it. We did some canvassing together. So it wasn't like suddenly we were like, oh my God, politics, just we were already kind of in it. And then we did kind of take, like, it was a month or so of, like, I think grieving and hanging out without really necessarily, we weren't not talking about it, but and then one night, I do remember we were like, let's specifically meet. We want to do something. Let's meet about this. So we did have the intention. We weren't just like meeting and chatting. It was the intention of doing something. As we came with some ideas around what we could do, we talked about using social media. Before that, we had both been like private on our social media accounts. Emily's grown hers massively. So we talked about using social media and then doing something in real life. And that's where the flyer thing came out. Because during the election, I think we were both very vocal in our communities at school pickup, at drop off, talking about getting out the vote, like going to vote, doing letter writing. Like, I showed up all the time in my like shirts that said vote and like abortion access for all.
Your
like
shirts,
I was very like
we have a lot of shirts.
Yeah, I was kind of like the crazy loony person on the school like yard. But I do think we already had that a little bit, and then when we met that night, it was with the intention to do something. So it wasn't like, it was a little thought out. But we didn't know what our flyer would be. The Tesla truck on fire.
I think, yeah, that was a good one. It's still one of my favorites, the OG. I will say, I think your mood changes pretty quickly with acting. It doesn't take that much time to feel different, or for me, it didn't. Like, even just starting that first flyer, even just posting that first flyer with our friends, with music, going out in the night, I immediately the next day felt better. There was no delay in gratification or like thinking about, oh, what is this going to mean in 2 years? It was immediately like, this is fun. This brought me joy. I immediately feel better about my community and about the world. And if we keep going, we can keep having that feeling again and again. And I think that's kind of what is appealing and not addictive, but it gets that feeling you don't want to let go, so you just keep doing it. There's no replacing action, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think we showed up, we were in a little bit of despair probably, but also with the motivation to do something. I think we had grieved and we had been like grieving. And then we were like, we got to do something. And I agree with what Emily says. Every time we go out to poster, there are nights where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I don't want to. But every time I do it, I feel so good afterwards. And I know that I'm going to have that feeling, that I'm going to feel like I did something, that I took some action. And there's nothing better than like being outside and doing something. And especially if you're doing something that is creating some sort of awareness. Some of them are just PSAs. Some of them are funny. Some of them are whatever, scary, I guess. But you're doing it, and it really does feel good. And anyone who's ever joined us says the same thing. They're like, oh my God, I feel so much better after.
So you touched on the first poster that you guys made with the Tesla on fire. Pretty pointed. Why did you choose kind of art as your entry point into activism with this group?
Like, I don't know if we had, we both wanted to do something that was tangible, like in real life. I think we both felt pretty strongly about that. And I will say, like, from my perspective, I felt like in that first month that people were sort of like, oh, this happened, it sucks. Like, and I got really scared, and I still have this fear, but less and less, honestly, every month, that people would just idly stand by and kind of not acknowledge the tragedies and overreach of power and all the things that Trump and that administration are doing. I was really scared that people were going to be kind of lazy about it and not be willing to see what's happening. Some people have turned away from the news. They don't want to know what's going on. It's terrifying. It's scary. And so I wanted something, honestly, in people's kind of in your face, bright colors that brought awareness, even if you're trying to ignore it and block out the noise. I wanted something that you kind of can't turn away from, at least a little bit, Right.
I gotta say, for our first poster, I did not think of it as art. I was not sitting on my couch being like, I'm making art right now. To me, it really was like, I felt like shaking people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like going outside. I even remember saying at Double Clutch, and Savanna probably said the same thing. Like, I literally want to go into the street and scream. Like, I want to scream at people, like, wake up. What are you doing? What have we just done? Like, look at what is happening. We have Doge, like Elon Musk stealing our social security numbers. We have him dismantling the federal agency. Millions of people are going to die. He's getting rid of USAID. And it felt like everyone was in a stupor. And I think that feeling comes from despair and despondency. But to me, the flyers were a way to shake people and get in their face, like Savanna said, without, actually losing my mind and screaming in the street. And then only as we kept going and I saw them up and we started talking about making them installations and doing different things, and we came upon doing them all in pink, now I start thinking of it as art, as public art. But that first poster, I really just wanted to scream. I really was mad, and I wanted people to have to see it. And that's what the flyer does. We put them in very prominent spaces. We put them where people we know would be faced to see the flyer. And now I think of it as art, but at the time I was just like kind of like pulling out my hair.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't live in Evanston and hasn't seen these posters, like, they are on bright neon pink paper. Like, you can't miss them if you're walking down a place that has them.
I think it's called
now
Fire
the bear
Fuchsia
uses it
or
too.
something.
Yeah, Fire Fuchsia. The
Yeah,
bear.
the
The bear
Sounds
films
like
here.
an apt description if I've ever heard one.
The show The Bear uses the same color poster, and they flyered in one of our neighborhoods, like Lincolnwood neighborhood in Evanston, and people texted being like, oh, we thought you guys were really going crazy with your flyers on Lincoln Street. And it was like the Bears saying, no, we're shooting here. You can't park. We thought it was Pink Poster Club just really going for it.
I think they got the idea from us, though, honestly.
I mean, it really is eye-catching. It really does work.
Yeah, definitely. So let's move on to kind of more of your organizing and community building and strategy. Pink Poster Club puts a lot of emphasis on making activism joyful and approachable, which I think you guys do a very good job of. Why was that important to you, especially in a moment where politics and getting involved feels, frankly, exhausting?
I mean, I think we can both speak to this, but I think that it was obvious that this is going to be a long haul, and you can't really we can't expect people to show up if we're not also having fun. And so for me, even when we go out and do the posters, there's joy to it. Like, I actually am having a good time. I feel relief. I feel like a lot of times we go out together and we do it, and it's very fun. We play music. It's like we have a blast. And so but doing that makes you want to, if you're having fun doing something, you want to keep doing it. If you're feeling like really bummed out and like this was a real downer, you're not going to want to come back to the table. And so I think we were honestly doing the thing that made us keep coming, which was to have fun, to hang out with our friends, to laugh and maybe cry together sometimes, but like mostly laugh. Like we have a lot of fun, even when we're talking about really dire, messed up stuff. So I think we were doing what was good for us. And I think that just spoke to other people, and it made it easier for people to keep coming back when they know that they're going to show up. There's going to be like music, there's going to be bright colors, we're going to be having fun and talking. So it just makes it easier. But Emily, you probably have stuff.
Yeah. To echo what Savanna said, like, I think when we started the club, it was really what we wanted to do and actions that we felt that we could keep doing, whatever, in perpetuity or however long we want to do them. And since it has evolved, I think a lot about offering an alternative to what politics has become in the United States, which is so angry. And also, this is like not a call for unity. I'm not like calling for unity, but I'm just saying like an alternative. I'm not about that, but like a call for, I have to be clear, an alternative world, right? Where like you can be civically engaged and you can know who's running for Congress and you can be involved in politics and it doesn't make you feel smaller, right? So much of the MAGA movement and even like some of like the wishy-washiness of the Democrats, it makes life feels smaller in a way that's really depressing. Like, I don't want my life in politics to be constantly angry, constantly someone's a victim, something, you know what I mean? I want it to be about building a world that is focused on humanity and what makes us humans. And for me, a large part of that is joy and art and community and bringing people together. And I think we're very conscious in making sure Pink Poster Club reflects that for the people who want to join it, that we're an alternative. Like we are a way you can get involved without constant bitterness and anger.
And it also, like, I think you kind of said this, but also politics feels kind of scary and intimidating. And I think people feel like they can't get involved. Like they have to have like there's some prerequisite that they have to meet, and you don't have to. Like, I think a lot of what we're also trying to do and what we did with our Meet the Candidates Forum was to make it like, you want to come. It's fun. Like, you're going to come and you're going to have a good time.
Fun.
And guess what? You're going to learn a lot about the candidates that directly impact our lives. And I think often politics seems like this other thing, but the reality is that everything that the way we live our lives is very much impacted by our politics. And so I think if we can make it that connection easier and like people want to come, and I think as you come, then you're like, this isn't scary. Like, these people didn't know what they were doing. I can write a letter. I don't have to be super smart. I don't have to be super informed. I have to show up and care about the future, the world we're trying to build, like Emily said. I feel like that is, I don't know, that's really what we're trying to do.
Right. Well, as an attendee, I got to say that was the most fun forum that I've ever been to. So
it was great. I had a blast.
Time.
The paddles were really a hit.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to other forums earlier in the election season, and there's moments where I'm like falling asleep in my seat. Not, but nobody's fault. But like, it gets repetitive. It's just question after question after question. It gets boring. And I put my faith and trust into you guys. Bought my ticket, and I was like, you know what, this was worth it.
I'm so glad. That's great.
So you guys have grown from two mothers with an idea in a bar to a group with regular meetings and happy hours and community patrols and everything in between. How did you think about growth without losing the original kind of spirit of the group?
I mean, I feel like I keep saying the same thing. None of this was like super well thought out. We just kind of keep going. I will say just recently, we have more people who want to join. We have like an internal chat, which is now 10 people, I think, including Emily. And that's like the core group. So those are the people who most of those people come to our monthly meetings. They help us they helped us in massive ways with the candidate forum. So those are the people who are really like in the trenches with us. And then we just recently launched our Signal, which is now like, that's going to be more like external facing. So people who want to get involved, but we don't want our internal group to get too big. Otherwise it's going to make it very difficult to make decisions. So we have that as well. But everything has been really organic, and we're just kind of going with vibes.
I will say at times both Savanna and I have looked at each other and we were kind of like, what have we gotten ourselves into? Like honestly, we are very busy. Like, Savanna works, she has children. I'm full-time with my 3 kids. The youngest is 2. I have my other social media account, and it's a lot of work. Like, it is a lot of work, and I always find it worth it. And love doing it, and I'm excited that we're growing and that more and more people want to do it. But I want to be honest, there have been times where I'm like, this is too much. Like we are not doing a flyer this week. We're not having a meeting this month. Like we need to push book club because there are a lot of demands, and we want to make sure that when people want to join, they can join. And part of having that ability is protecting us and, protecting us from being burnt out and not wanting to do it anymore and losing the joy of it. Because it's a lot of managing. So
I believe it.
Mention that because it's not just like all super
no,
easy.
It is a lot of work. And we
yeah.
do have conversations about like, this is too much. Do we really want to do this? Etc.
Yeah.
So how does it, like, I know you said it's very organic, but how did it work in the beginning? You started as posters. Like, does somebody come to you and say, hey, I want to attach a book club off of this? Or, hey, I think we should add this thing off of this. Are you guys creating those ideas, or are other people bringing them to you and saying, like, I'll do it, I'll run it, etc.?
Both, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
The book club started because you and I really wanted to read certain books, and we were like, let's start another book club.
Yeah.
But then
that's
there's been
why
other
this
things.
podcast
Like,
came to be.
Kelly was one of our members after the election. There were a bunch of the yard signs, and she had this like great idea to reuse those yard signs, spray paint them, and have a yard sign making event. So that's like, so it is, I would say it's all these different things. And at some point after one of the big No Kings rally, we were all on the train, Pink Poster Club group, whoever it was at the time, and somebody was like, let's do a family rally. And it is, I would say it's a mix of things, but we're really the people in our group bring a lot of creativity and ideas and willingness to like take the lead on something. One of our other members is like, I'll create the Facebook groups, which is going to happen soon. So we have a lot of people who are willing to jump in and are really creative.
And I think something we do too is when someone has an idea, we are conscious of like who will lead it. So if someone has an idea and Savanna and I can't lead it, we usually say yes, but we have to stipulate somewhat like, okay, so you will take the lead on that. And so we're very much a group led by its members and the capacity and skills of the members, which I think makes it really sustainable. We say yes to whatever our members pretty much want to do because it's a group led by each other.
Love that. So your posters often include QR codes that lead people to actionable steps. How do you decide when to educate, when to mobilize, and when to just make people stop and stare at your bright fuchsia posters?
Vibes. I don't know. Yeah.
I keep saying organic. I need to stop saying that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. Vibes. Like some of the topics we want to address don't have an action item really. And I think for those posters, we still want people to be aware of what's happening and we want them to understand that this is a big issue, but there's no immediate way to address it. If there is an issue and there is an immediate way to address it, we always add that as an action. And so it just depends. And a lot of it is based on the news. So what's happening in the news cycle to try to, again, force people to view the news, even if they might want to check out. So some of the posters are like the Epstein Files one. They're with that poster, the Epstein File poster, there's no action. But we felt very strongly that people should know that the president's in the Epstein Files, like 1 million times, Jamie Raskin says. So it's just dependent on the topic, and that the topic kind of leads the form. That makes sense.
Yeah. Sometimes we do try to plan like, oh, what's our poster going to be this month? And then often like I'm like all excited about a poster we're going to make. And then like something like some shitstorm comes down and we're just like, God damn it, I can't.
We have a list of posters we've been wanting to make, I think, since last year. Like we just keep adding to it, but something always happens. Something always comes up.
That's, I think, just a casualty of the work that both of us do.
Yeah.
Well, because I write on Substack and I'll often write something and then again some crazy shit happens and I'm like, well, there goes that month's article. I guess that's getting pushed to April. Happens. But what's the I mean, you kind of touched on this because you said stuff happens and you have to change the poster idea for the month, but like what is the turnaround time on these? Like if something egregious happens, are you like, we need a poster immediately and that'll be up in the next 3 days? Or is this a couple weeks process that everybody needs to parse through?
No, it's usually I would say
really
in the
quick.
beginning, it was very quickly. We'd be like, let's meet. We have an idea. In the beginning, it was like Emily or I would be like, oh, let's do this thing. And we'd meet the next day at Fat Shallot or Double Clutch. I think Fat Shallot mostly for those. and we meet and we make the poster, we make the website in like 2 hours, print it out the next day. Lisa usually goes and prints it for us, our COO. And so it's usually very fast. We did one recently that was like a week, and I did not like that. It took the joy out of it, honestly. It was a little bit like we didn't meet in person to do it, which was the first one we had done, I think, not really meeting in person. Maybe that's wrong. But I didn't enjoy that as much. It's really fun, in my opinion, to like come together, and then it puts a timeline, because we have such busy lives. So it puts a timeline. It might not be as thorough or as good sometimes, maybe, but it's like for us, I think, for our sustainability, to meet for 2 hours and have a beer together and make a quick like flyer and a website, puts a timestamp on it, and then we're kind of done, and it feels really fun, honestly. So I want to keep doing that.
Right. And can we talk about that website URL? How did that come to be?
We actually just changed it.
We just changed it.
Well, okay, wait. We'll tell the listeners what it was, and then let's go into the changing of it.
It was Elon Musk. Because of our first flyer, again, like, because we didn't know what we were doing. We were at Double Clutch, we went back to Emily's house, and we made this flyer. We were like, okay, we're going to do this Tesla truck on fire. I think that was Emily's idea. And then we were like, what's our website going to be? And so we didn't know we were going to be Pink Poster Club.
Yeah, they weren't even pink at that point.
No, they were just neon. They were just bright neon.
They weren't pink, yeah.
And so we did.
I just hated Elon Musk. I mean, I still hate him. I really...
Yeah, he's awful.
He received a lot of my ire and rage in the first 3 months of the administration. And I was really inspired by that clip that went all around where he's like high on drugs at the inauguration. He's like, oh. And I was like, fuck, this person is in the inner workings of our government. Like, he's high as a kite 24/7. He clearly has no morals. His truck is ugly. His rockets crash. I was just like, this fucking loser, I don't know. And so we did change it though.
So now is it, okay. I remember the first time I like kind of found you guys, and I went to like the links in bio to try to find your website, and like the website is like, Elon Musk, and I was like, is this correct? Like, I've always been curious. I've always been curious as to what that was. It brought a little bit of joy to my life.
No, I'm sorry.
He's really an inspiration for us.
He is.
I mean, inspiration.
Yeah.
We owe the club to him. No, I'm kidding.
God, that's so sad. Let's not like.
I mean, it really is like the shittiest people that like make you do the best things. Like if Trump hadn't been inaugurated a second time, not to give him credit for anything, I wouldn't have this podcast. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
He's inspired a lot of action.
Right. Absolutely. So let's move on to what other people can do, for people that aren't from Evanston and can't join your group. People are angry. They're overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. What do you think is the smallest first step that people can take to build something local?
You can go.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think what we usually say, or I don't know, I say this. I think the best first step is to meet up with one of your friends who cares a little bit about what's happening, and just meet with them. Be like, I want to hang out. I want to talk about what's happening, and like maybe something we could do together and how we can build a community. I think the best sustainable way to do this is to go about it on the community level and saying like, I want to build a community that's around this topic, and where we can create, like, you can go to your book clubs, you can, whatever you're already involved in. And not everyone in our book clubs helps us, to be honest, but like some people we've pulled a few people out of those areas. And I just feel like the easiest way is to go about and meet with one of your friends that and have a conversation about it and talk about what you could possibly do.
Yeah, I also would say, like, getting back to it is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple, meaning it requires a lot of vulnerability. There's always risk of rejection, and you're putting yourself out there. Like, I find it very vulnerable and emotionally draining to talk about how I feel about politics all the time, because not everyone agrees with you. We're in a really divisive, dark time in our history, and that makes the weight of what we're doing heavier. But everyone is kind of looking at each other, like hoping for the invite. You know what I mean? Like, and I think we need to remember that. I think we really need to remember at the end of the day, people want to be with each other, and they want to be in community with each other. And sometimes you have to be the one who does it. And do I wish you didn't have to? But someone has to do it. And so if you are thinking about doing it, I urge you to just do it, because I guarantee you there are other people around you hoping they get an invite to something, or hoping there's an action, or hoping there's a happy hour. And you just need to be a little bit braver, just like a little bit, put yourself out there a little bit. And even if you're scared, it's okay. You can do it. You can do it.
I agree.
Right.
And like every time we have an event, there's like Emily said, it's a little bit like there's a vulnerability. I remember there was an event kind of recently where Emily couldn't be there, and like almost no one else from our group could be there. And I was like, oh my God, what if no one comes? I'm going to be there by myself. And then like we had like 30 people show up, and I was like, okay, great. And like almost none of them were people I knew. There were a couple of Pink Poster Club members, and then a bunch of people who I didn't know came. And I feel like that's kind of, and I'm not saying that's always the story, obviously, but in general, it's kind of shocking. Like I feel like if you put yourself out there, if you are able to let yourself be a little vulnerable, it's people usually end up showing up because other people want it. Like Emily said, like people are waiting for that like actual connection with another human, which we don't have that much.
Right. Well, and I've always found that like the hardest thing to do is take that first step to like actually go to the event. Like my like introduction into like community organizing and activism started with somebody that I interviewed on this very podcast who extended their hand out to me and said, you should come to this. Like sometimes it is that simple. Like people just need a little nudge, a little push in the right direction. But I found that like after going to things, I'm like, you know what? Like that was a lot of fun. Like I feel better. Like you guys said at the top, it takes a lot to get the person to go to the thing, but oftentimes afterwards you feel so much better.
Yeah. And I would even say like just as, I don't know, I feel like we constantly, like we contact the same people, the same groups all the time. And people don't always show up, and it sometimes takes sending, like it's now been a year of us like sending messages to our book clubs and other groups of people.
Like honestly, like relentless. Like I'm not kidding you, like relentlessly, like never giving up, like just.
Yes. And every once in a while, one more person shows up. And so like, don't give up. The other message would be like, don't give up right away. Like you might invite somebody to something and they might feel a little scared or nervous, or there's another reason they can't come. Just keep inviting them, because eventually they might be like, oh wait, this is cool. Oh wait, that does look fun. You guys look like you're having a good time. I want to be there too. So I wouldn't give up. And then also for people who want to get involved, you can always message us too.
Yeah. I would also, the last thing I talk about this, it's important that you do things no matter how you're feeling. Like I think like we talk about feelings a lot, and I'm not ever suggesting people don't acknowledge their feelings. But there's a difference between being nervous and doing it and being nervous and not doing it. And all the time I'm doing stuff and I'm very nervous. I get so nervous. And you can move past your nervousness to action, and the nervousness isn't going to go away, but you can get used to doing things while you're nervous. You can get used to doing things while you're scared. It's not like you're not scared anymore, but you don't let it stop you. And I think that's very important. I think sometimes you look at people doing things and you're like, oh, like, how do they do it? It's so brave. They're not scared. Like, it's so natural. And it's not. They have just practiced enough so that they can do it while they're nervous. They can do it while they're scared. There's no magic. We're not special. We just keep going. And I think that is important to talk about, because I think a lot of times people feel something and it stops them from doing it.
So speaking of things that you've learned over the last year, what were some lessons that you kind of had to learn the hard way about organizing that you wish somebody had told you at the beginning?
One thing front of mind, and this is kind of silly and not important, but technology. Like Emily and I, because we started this, like it was like we were just doing this, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. We're like, okay, we started a website and the name doesn't now make sense to our current thing. Like, how do we invite other people who are integral to our, like the passwords? Like we're trying to share this information between us and a couple other people who are like very core to our group. And I don't know, I don't have advice for you there, but like, good luck.
Yeah, like we could have planned our system a little better. Like we essentially had no system of anything. Like we had no system for emailing, nothing. We literally just started it and built the system behind us. And it would have been helpful if we had sat down and been like, but the thing is we didn't even know we were going to be a group. So it's kind of like, but if you are thinking about forming a group, think of your system. Like start an email, do everything separate from your personal emails and accounts, and get your own, like have a group system, not like two people together meshing passwords and logins and like texting each other like, are you on Squarespace? Like, I need the Squarespace authentication. It's like, no, I'm sleeping. Like, you know what I mean? Like just like shit like that would be, mine is like more personal, but I think it's I've been raised and like born to be very, make sure everyone around me is comfortable, like take care of people, be a people pleaser. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten less and less. That's less and less important to me, but it's still like this innate thing. Like I don't like people not liking me, right? Like I don't like, and so I think this is just part of growing up, but also this past year feeling a lot like it's fine. You're going to do shit and people aren't going to like it. There's always going to be a problem with what you're doing. It's never going to be good enough for certain people. You're going to forget things that are important. You're going to not include people that should be included. And like that, criticism is fine. It's fine. You don't need to agree on things. There can be conflict and you can keep going. It doesn't need to like be an overwhelming thing that stops you from acting.
Right. Absolutely.
No, I mean, I think there's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot to add. I think I agree with what Emily's saying. There have been times where we've done something and we didn't do it maybe the right way, and we've gotten criticism. And I think I would say the best thing in those situations is to confront that and be like, yeah, we made a mistake, and this is a lesson learned. And to also like give yourself grace, give the people in your group grace, because we're all just doing the best we can with limited resources, limited time, and like the world's kind of on fire. So there's that, like, you know, that emotional component coming down. I feel like Emily and I really try to be like, we want to be action based. We don't want to overthink everything, because one of the faults I think we both agree on in like the Democratic Party and in politics in general has been like overthinking everything. And like not coming with a lot of passion and like force and and being vulnerable. Like I think we're both fairly willing at this point to be vulnerable and to be like, and to know we might make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes for sure. We're going to. But like that's okay, because if we want to make everything perfect, we're not going to make action then. And so I feel like there's this like a little bit of a weight of like we can improve. It doesn't mean we're not trying to learn. We want to learn. We want to get better. But also we need to be willing, if we want to be in real time doing things, we need to be willing to let go of the perfection and move forward and then take the criticism. So I think we've been doing that, but that my advice would just be like, if you want to be action based, acknowledge when you make a mistake, apologize for that mistake, and then also learn from it and keep moving forward, because I just feel like we're going to be stymied if we try to be perfect all the time.
Right. I think that's so true. Like I think about this podcast and where it started. Like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I don't know where this thing is going to be in a year. And it seems like that's where so much like just good activism and good things happening on the left are coming from people being like, we need to do this and we need to do this now. Like I can't just wait and sit around for somebody to give me permission or somebody to join me in doing it. Like I'm going to do it, and we're going to do it right now. There's no waiting period.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So one last question for you guys. Pink Poster Club is pushing towards a beautiful future, a future where people are united and people are hopefully living in peace and doing good things. People-centered future, if you will. When you are picturing this new world that you are helping build towards and organizing towards, what do you think success actually looks like for Pink Poster Club?
That's a good question.
Well, I have a dream that like every community in the country has a Pink Poster Club, not necessarily a Pink Poster Club, but some club where people can come together and feel welcome and be in community with each other, fighting for something to make the world better. And I think we're seeing that all over the country. I think we are seeing a ton of more civic engagement, a ton of more people realizing that the world that we want, we will have to build and have to get involved in building it. And that's like my dream, that we inspire others to have a club. And it doesn't have to be Pink Poster Club, although like it is cool. And the flyers are very fun.
Everyone
and you should do it.
franchise out
Everyone
of the
should do it.
original Pink Poster
And we do
Club.
have some people doing it. We have some groups who are going to start their own actual Pink Poster Club in different areas of the country. But I want people to feel that they have agency to do something like this. If it's not this, something like it, and that they act on that agency.
Beautiful. I agree. On top of that, like if we get to a place where we're not fighting against, my hope is we get to a place where we're not fighting against like an authoritarian takeover, and that we get to this place where Pink Poster Club continues regardless of where we're at, like on politics. I don't want it to be like, oh, now Trump's out, we're done. Like I think we have the intention to keep moving forward as long as it makes sense. I would love to see us go forward with like pushing forth like our ideas around other beautiful things that we need, like gardens, and Emily was
like
working
native
on
gardens.
like native gardens, community, like actual like farming that is local, like all these things that I think we want to see. And obviously there's dreams that are much bigger than that, and really important, like that no people are hungry, like that we
Healthcare, like universal
healthcare for
healthcare you
everyone,
talk
like
about all the
there's
time.
so I feel like we have these things that I really honestly am so excited to fight for at some point, and like push forward, that aren't always about in reaction to the really negative stuff that's happening at the administration right now. So I don't know.
Right. One of the things that I'm eager to see happen is, you and I are good examples of this. Post-Trump administration, so many new media people, new organizations have popped up doing incredible work. And I'm eager to see what happens when we all don't have to focus all of our attention to the authoritarians in the White House, because these groups are doing incredible things. So I can only imagine that if there are people in power that enforce the beautiful and powerful things that they are doing, it's going to be even more beautiful and powerful and effective.
Yes, I agree. I will say, like, so many of the books we've read for book club, Pink Poster Book Club, have talked about the way that like our, historical activists have shaped really good public policy. And I'm like, I think what you're saying is exactly accurate. Like if in hopefully 3 years' time, we don't have this lunatic or some other crazy lunatic in the office, that they will take some of the stuff that people are building now and put it into our public policy. And it will, my hope is that we walk away with something better at some point.
Right. The other thing I think about all the time is, since our club is founded in joy and creativity and these things that really do make life worth living, like make us humans, it is really addicting to be part of something like this in a way that the other side doesn't offer. And so much of this time feels inevitable, but really a lot of it is unknown. And I'm honestly excited, because I feel like the momentum, what we're building can only grow, right? Like we're building things that make you feel bigger, that make you feel more alive. Like we're basing things on joy and love and shared humanity and equality. And once we aren't fighting fascism, this will still really be appealing, right? Like it will still really be appealing to go to a beach hangout, to gather for music, to go to a family rally. Like we're preparing ourselves essentially for what we can be when he's gone. And I love that idea. I find a lot of hope and like sustainment in the idea that this isn't inevitable. Our future is not inevitable. And the more we do right now, the better chance we have to make it something we want to see when he's gone, when MAGA is gone. I don't think they'll be gone for a long time, but you know what I mean.
The rallies are so beautiful, and I just want everyone to do them.
Yeah, they're like, beautiful.
You said the family rallies,
the kids
and I was
love
like,
them. They're just
my favorite thing you guys do
is
the park meetups. I don't have kids, so I've never gone because I'd look like a freak standing at the park with no kids.
We say no. People have DM'd us and been like, "Can we come without kids?" Yes, you don't need a child.
Fine. Maybe you've convinced me, but
yeah, please.
I think that's such a good idea. Like to bring families together, to just your kids are playing, the adults have time to all chat. Like you're all there at a coordinated time. Like that's such a simple thing. Like you don't have to pay any money towards it. You just got to show up at the local park.
I feel like so many of our things are very simple. It's like the park hangs. Like there might be some coordination on our back end, but for people, it's pretty low stakes. It's like you show up, you know,
there's nothing to do.
Yeah, like you just show up, and you can do something or you don't have to, but you can just be there. I agree. The park hangs are we're excited to get those back.
That reminds me, I got to make that map
in the spring. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to start them in April. We'll do one a month.
Love it. All right. Well, that is all that I have for you guys. Is there anything that you feel like I might have missed?
No. Can I do a quick thank you to all of our members?
Go ahead.
I forget somebody. Emily, please jump in. Okay. I want to say thank you.
I'll listen really closely.
To our COO, Lisa. I want to say thank you to Danny, our book club lead. Kelly, what's her name? What's her title now? Community partner. God. Whatever. We'll just say Kelly.
Community Partner Events Liaison or something.
Yes. It's a new title, so that's why I don't know it. Liz, and then there's a ton of people who we don't have official titles for everyone, but Liz, Anna, Annie, I have them written down, Trish, Charlie, Amanda. So I just they're like, we literally couldn't do this work without them. So
absolutely
the core group. Love that.
Also, they're great. I love our group. I love it. They're so creative, smart, like determined, resourceful.
And these people weren't all people we were friends with previously. I just want to make that clear. Like Emily and I were friends, and like obviously some of these people we were friends with separately, but some of these people just like we met them and they came, and so this is not like our BFFs or anything. Like we've become that, together we've become good friends. But this just started with like, it was organic and people came who we didn't know and joined us, and I think that's very cool. I also want to say it's not a women's only group. Sorry, the other thing, because I think people think
only.
that, and it's not.
It's not.
Everyone,
it's the color pink that internalized misogyny.
I know
really gets
it
you.
is. I know.
I also think it's like a lot of women are doing.
Women are stepping in, as always, kind of. So, but if you're a man, come in.
But you can come if you're a man. Like our husbands are part of the club.
Yes,
they're great.
Yes.
We have a lot of men in the club.
Yeah.
And how did the people that weren't your friends, purely out of curiosity, like how did they come into the fold? Like, did they see one of your posters and were like, "I'm on my way," or like word of mouth? Like,
yeah. Well, so one of our main one of our core members, Danny, she came to our first book club, or was it our second book club? I don't know.
No, the first one.
And we had never,
the first one. I think
we'd never met. Like she found. I think we posted on Instagram. She found it. She came. And so that's like, I don't know, that was really cool. And she's like, does amazing work. And so yes, I think through social media and our events.
And some people we knew from school or like knew someone at school and was like, oh, I want to join the Pink Poster Club. And we got introduced and connected through previous community connections, essentially.
Love that.
But
power of social media is crazy. Like the fact that somebody just sees hey, there's a book club meeting tomorrow, and then just goes like,
brave, right?
And imagine
also
how
very.
I know, like she like came like
brave.
It wasn't, she didn't know any of us.
No, I know.
I think that was really cool.
But that's what I mean. Like she just made herself do it.
Yeah,
right. Well, part of it for me, like I don't find my problem to be going to like random events that I find on social media, because I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to see anybody there ever again. Like it's fine, especially if it's a one-off event. Like I can go, I can sit, I can listen, and then that's it. Like I did my part. Like so that part's not that scary to me. But it is like for a book club where it's like a recurring meeting, like you want to get involved, to show up knowing nobody and then continuing to go. And now she's clearly been involved for the last year. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and she's the book club lead now.
Cool.
So
yeah, she does all the book club stuff for us now. Yeah. And she does all our graphic design. Like she made the Meet the Candidate event flyer.
That was a good one.
Which is really cool.
She did good on that one. Give her my regards.
It was so good. She just made it. We were like, who wants to make this? And she's like, I will. And it was amazing. And Savanna sent her some like random.
I sent her some really terrible image being like, I want something like this.
Like
and
this
she
is
somehow
inspiration.
did it.
And she just did it. It was amazing. It was amazing. But it is fun.
That.
You meet all different people. It's amazing. It's very fun.
Perfect. Well, that is all that I have for you guys. So thank you so much for
this
coming
was fun.
on.
Yeah,
of course.
Great.
I'll have your social media, the website that is no longer elonmusk.com. I'll have the real website linked in the show notes. And yeah, if you are located in and around the Evanston area, please check out what Savanna and Emily are doing at the Pink Poster Club. It is a great organization to watch unfold. It's a little bit too far for me to get involved in, but I love and appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Like it's amazing to watch unfold.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
taking
time.
Thank you for this. This was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Current Affairs Unfiltered. I hope you took what Emily and Savanna said to heart, and I hope if you are not in the Evanston area that you go out and make your own kind of Pink Poster Club. If you're not following them on social media, I'll have their social media linked down below so you can kind of see what they're all about and what their advocacy really looks like. And if you are in the Evanston area, check them out, join the club, get involved, do something joyful with your time. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to follow, leave a review, or share it with someone who could use this information. To support this podcast, you can also subscribe to my Substack, She Knows the Score, which is linked in the show notes. And as always, if you have questions, topic suggestions, or just want to say hi, you can find me on social media at Current Affairs Unfiltered Pod on Instagram, or send me an email at currentaffairs.unfilteredpod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Keep asking questions, stay engaged, and do the joyful advocacy. I'll see you guys next week.